Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brad's Bad Show About Games. I'm Brad, of course, if you couldn't predict that. But, so yeah, I decided to try something different with my Mixer and Twitch and YouTube channels. I was streaming a while back. It says I got a viewer on Mixer. Hello, whoever you are. Uh, I tried streaming back at the end of last year, and unfortunately, my internet quality is not very good. So I'd have to set my visuals for my streams at their absolute lowest just to keep the stream from lagging, and the streams just look really bad. Especially for like it wasn't so bad with games like Mario Brothers 3 where the graphics were a little more simple and there wasn't a lot of movement. But if you try to play something like Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, it just there's too much movement, and a poor visual quality just completely messes with the visuals, and it's just not worth it. So instead, I decided to go to just straight up recording my stuff and then uploading it to YouTube in chunks, and this way I can keep the quality of the video nice and, pretty to look at. It's not live, but eh, I can go back and watch stuff that's old from other people that played. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. It doesn't make it any more or less, entertaining. But that's what I'm doing with this. I've decided to try to do a show. Hopefully I want to try to do this weekly, if I can. It depends on how well we do, how well this little show of mine works. And if people like it, I'll keep doing it. If not, then I'll just shelve these channels for now, once again, until I can do something about internet. But anyway, let's jump right into things. Let me find my little notes thing here. Here it is. So the idea for the show is just to talk about whatever gaming stuff is going on. I want to try to keep things positive. So, and hello, it says I got a viewer on Twitch. That's why I got the counter up here in the top right corner of the screen, so I can keep up with how many people are watching. But anyway, I want to talk about stuff that's going on, anything that's big. I'm gonna try to keep things positive and not go any, in a negative route or any negative stories. So like the recent thing with Nintendo and Nintendo network accounts getting hacked. I'm not gonna really talk much about that. I mean, it's terrible, but we're gonna focus on good things and bring happy things, because for me games are about and being games are an escapism for a lot of folks. When life sucks and you want to get out of life for a little while, and take a break, that's what games are. Of course, games are art and all that stuff too. But we're going to talk about good things. And the first good thing we're going to talk about is something that's actually been around for a little while, but it recently ended. And that is, as you can tell from the screen here, from his bathing in the V-Bucks, Deadpool was added to Fortnite. Now, I was working really hard on this to get to, complete all of the Deadpool challenges. Every week there was a new Deadpool challenge. And, it would mostly be, first off, you find this random thing somewhere in the main hub area, I guess you could call it. You go, oh, find Deadpool's underwear, find Deadpool's chimichangas, find Deadpool's pistol, and they would be out in the open. They weren't really ever hard to find. So, and then you'd have to go in a game and do some little minor task, like go find a poster on a wall and spray paint it and put Deadpool on it. Go destroy 3 toilets or something like that. And they were just little bitty missions like that, really really simple to do. And after a while, you unlock, and with each mission, with each week's missions, you unlock a new item, leading up to the actual Deadpool skin. So you get a lot of fun free stuff, and all Deadpool themed. The most recent weeks, the week 8 challenge I think was, of course, the Deadpool skin itself, and then the week after that was the X-Force variant, of Deadpool, which is set of the red and black, which I love. That's one of the reasons why I love Deadpool, is because I love the red and black, color scheme. Red's my favorite color. For those who don't know, you might could tell. I also love red and black. If you can tell that that's the my Mii fighter is wearing its Smash shirt. But yeah, I was really excited about that when they decided to add Deadpool to the game. I'd never played Fortnite. No, I'd kind of written it off as just this sort of fad game. Not much. I haven't been much of a first-person shooter guy, which I don't guess this is this count as first-person shooter. Not really, but I'm not much of a shooter game guy. But there was something about this game when I got it to looking at it, and I was like, "Oh, Deadpool's in this, huh? Maybe I should give it a shot." And I happened to get an Xbox One S for Christmas this past year, which came with a code for some kind of bonus skin for the game. I think it's called Spider Knight, which looks really cool. And then I just started playing. I was like, okay, let's see what this is like. And I actually really like the game. It's really fun. There's a lot of personality in this game. I think the thing that sold it for me was when I somehow unlocked the skin for Agent Peely, who I affectionately refer to as the banana guy. There's just something about the idea you can play a video game as a banana with a gun. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just fun. But now that I've got Deadpool, one of the things I want to do for my channel is I want to try to do themed weeks every so often. And I've played, and I like to go back and play old games. So I've got a few old superhero based games, that I could play. One I started recently is a replay of the old PS1 Spider-Man game. I remember beating that a long time ago. But the thing with Deadpool now being in Fortnite is if I want to do a superhero week on my channel, I can play some Fortnite if I want to, as long as I use the Deadpool skin. So that's I'm glad they did that. I like playing as Deadpool in games. Like I love when they added Deadpool to Marvel vs. Capcom in the third edition. I hate that they took him out for the most recent one, which I have not played. But Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is still, it's one of my favorite fighting games, and I do wish we could get more Deadpool going around. I figured out that the actual Deadpool game, I'm disappointed to see, is not available for purchase on the Microsoft Store from the Xbox. It seems like this happens. Like it only seems to be available for purchase digitally when there's a Deadpool movie in theaters. Now, I know Deadpool 3 is supposed to be coming around at some point. Would love to see this game, come back. I wish it would come back permanently. Just let people buy the game. I'm sure there's some legal reason that they can't do it, don't want to do it, whatever. But then again, if they apparently shelved it after the first Deadpool movie, and then when the second one came out, they brought it back. So I don't know why they can only do this around the time there's the Deadpool movie out to be seen. Seems like a dumb idea. Because I would buy the game, because I had bought it for the Xbox 360. But my 360's put away, I can't, do anything about that. And I would buy it again digitally if it was available. So I want that to happen. So in addition to Deadpool being added, I think this event has already ended, but they added skins for more of the X-Force, so you could have gotten Cable, Domino, and Psylocke. Those are cool. And I hate that I think that they've already been removed from the store. I think they only gave you a week to get them. I didn't have enough V-Bucks to get them. I tried to earn some. I tried to earn a few back, but it wasn't good. But those are cool. Even if I didn't get a chance to get them, good on anybody who did, because those are some of the coolest skins I've seen in this game. From the very limited amount of time I played it, I started playing this game in February, so only about almost 3 months ago. It's just crazy. But hopefully you got those. Hopefully, from what I understand, to the best of my knowledge, once the stuff is taken out, you as far as the like I know or I've seen that Batman and some of the Star Troopers, Star Wars were uh skins in Fortnite, Harlequin, John Wick. I know there's a bunch of them in there. Thanos, yeah, Thanos was another one from Marvel that's in there. I don't think I've seen anybody play Thanos though. It seems to mostly be the original skins. But anyway, I don't want to get off on that tangent. Um, but anyway, that was a cool addition to the game. Hopefully, hopefully some of these really exclusive skins can come back at some point. I don't know. I know this doesn't seem to be a thing that they want to do, but you know, can never hope to can't hope to have hope, even if it seems unlikely. But there's another big Fortnite thing that's going on that's supposed to end today, and that is the Travis Scott astronomical concert. Now, I gotta be honest, I'm no Travis Scott fan. You know, never really. The only thing I know about Travis Scott is that he stole Super Bowl moment from SpongeBob. That's it. That's the only thing I know about Travis Scott. But I gotta say that the idea of having basically a virtual concert within the game is cool. I've seen some footage around that people have posted from it, and it does look really cool. Apparently, it did very well. So, you know, can't complain about having an idea and it taking off and it working. And since today will be the last showing, today's the last day for this. I'm gonna try to get in the very last show and get some footage recorded for that, so I can have it because this is the end. But you have to wonder is this like something that should be done more often? Should we see people who are into games? You know, I assume he's into games, otherwise he wouldn't have done this. You know, I assume he must like the game, or at least like some kind of games, to want to be a part of this. So maybe that's something that people who big time musical artists should want to look into. Maybe more artists should do this. And I'm not sure if they have or not, but people seem to be looking at this as something that sort of could set a new trend in some way. I don't know, maybe like a wider scale thing or not, but this is a cool event. I know that there were some people who were saying, oh, Fortnite's dead. I saw some people who were trying to refute that, saying, no, this was a very, very successful event. Fortnite's not going anywhere. And I hope not, because I know I'm late to start Fortnite, but from the little I've played, it's a really fun game. I enjoy it. I want to collect more skins and stuff. And I'm not the best Fortnite player. I win most of my matches by just kind of staying hidden. And, which the most kills I've ever gotten in one game, I think, was like 8. So I don't guess I'm too bad, as long as I'm not in the competitive mode. Because, the only way I even have managed to get as far as I am in the competitive mode is to just find a good hiding spot and try to outlast everyone else. I know that's not a very exciting way to play that game, but part of a game like that is knowing when to attack and when to defend. Sometimes it's better to run away and live to fight another day. Gotta earn those high points somehow. But there's some good players in that game, man. I don't know how they build towers so high. It's crazy. Oh, playing those guys that build these just monstrous towers, and I don't think I've ever built a single wall in the game. It just seems like it's just too complex for me. Just give me a gun, let me shoot. If I hit a target, I hit a target. If not, then I don't. But it's all in good fun. So like I said, I'll try to be in on the last show for this thing for Travis Scott. Like I said, not a big fan of, nothing against him. I've never really listened to his music, so I can't really say whether I like it or not or anything like that. but this is a cool looking event. I would like to at least see what it's like to, see something like this. Because, maybe we'll see more of this stuff from different artists. But that's cool. Hopefully you'll check it out too. I think you can get some kind of free like emote or something if you do. So be sure to check that out. Next topic we're moving on to is this past week we got prize drop the night before, I think it was, of the final, what's being billed as the final update for Super Mario Maker 2. And it introduced a lot of things, actually. This was a big update for Mario Maker 2, which is, unfortunately, Mario Maker 2 seems to have not made a very big impact in terms of, the same way that the original Mario Maker did. The original Mario Maker was like a phenomenon for a while. It was big. It was a big deal. People loved it. It was crazy too. And for me, the idea of making your own Mario game, or Mario levels for the original one, it was I stayed up like super late making levels because I like making levels. I know that some people only like playing levels, and that's fine. Even though making levels at some point can get a little repetitive and you feel like you're kind of, you don't want your levels to be too similar. But me, I like building levels that feel like you would see them in a game, in a Mario game. So I can appreciate people who do the super complicated levels that obviously would never be in any real Mario game. Those are really cool. But for me, I like to imagine that I'm building my own game. Like if I were making a Mario level that would be in a game that people would play, that's what I imagine that. So thankfully, with this new update, they go even further with the idea of you building your own Mario game by introducing World Maker. This is just of anything. This here, the World Maker, is something I think everybody wanted, but nobody thought we were going to get it. Because I think that people thought it was just too much for a game like this, that the idea of making your own Mario courses, to begin with was crazy enough. Or that maybe they just thought that, Nintendo didn't want to do that. But they gave it to us. You can design up to 8 worlds per game, basically. Each world can have up to 5 playable levels, one of which must be your boss for the world. So really, you get 4 options. You get 4 regular courses, and then you have your boss level. You can add 3 bonus games, which are the scrolling mix game. I can't remember what it's called. Oh boy, what is it? The one from Super Mario Bros. 3 where the star, the mushroom, and the fire flower are scrolling in different directions and you have to stop them all in a line and make a perfect picture. And depending on which one you do, you get 2 extra lives, 3 extra lives, or 5 extra lives. That game is back, and it works basically essentially the same way it did in that game. They changed they changed it a little bit where whatever you create pops out of the door in the mushroom house, and if it's not right, Mario kind of steps back a little bit, like that doesn't look right. There's a new mini game that's based where you blow up a balloon of the mushroom house, and depending on how fast you basically just push the A button repeatedly as fast as you can, and depending on how fast you push it, the more lives you get. So, and then there's another one which is a weird baseball game that they ripped the theme song from the old NES baseball game and put it in this. And you just have Mario jump up and try to catch the balls as they're thrown. You just can't let them hit the mushroom house behind Mario. If you hit it 3 times, then the weird skinny Mario shows up and like yells at you in some weird indistinguishable language of some sort, and then he goes away. But You can have, and you can have one set of drain pipes where you can enter in one end and come out the other end. But it's not, they don't give you a whole lot, but it's enough. It's enough. And because when you really think about it, this is giving you the option to build an entire Mario game on your own. These, however you want to do it. You know, do you want to have bosses? Do you want to not have bosses? You know, it's you can control the flow of your own game. You can have 8 worlds, progress through them all. So it's literally giving you the chance to make a complete Mario game on your own within Mario Maker. The only thing I wish they could do is that it's the aesthetic is Super Mario World. You can't change that. Now I don't know if this is like well, I'll get to that in a second, but anyway, I wish you could change the aesthetic. Can't, but that's okay. It's a small little nitpick. But I can't wait to make. I've been working on my maps. I've got my maps already figured out. I just gotta get the courses made to put on the maps. So once I get that up, I'll get my game uploaded. I thought about streaming myself, like actually making the levels, but I thought that might be too boring. But but anyway, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know. They said this is the last update. Hopefully it won't be. But anyway, moving on for more Mario Maker stuff. We got some more power-ups and stuff. I don't want to spend too much time on these because they're not that big of a deal. I'm glad that just to start with the image I had pulled for this, I'm glad they added the frog suit. I wish they would have added the full Tanuki suit, the one that you could turn into stone from Mario 3. But I guess ultimately, when you have already like regular Tanuki Mario with just the ears and the tail, it's not super necessary to have the other one. At least Frog Mario has a more unique function. So he can swim better now. That's a great addition to the game. There, the Mario Brothers 1 level additional thing is the Super Mario Brothers 2 mushroom, which lets you ride certain enemies, pick them up, and throw them. Now, that's an interesting thing because remember, a lot of people speculated that there was going to be another game style added besides Super Mario 3D World, and a lot of people were hoping for Super Mario. A lot of people were hoping for Super Mario Brothers 2, but all you're gonna get is the Mario Mushroom. You get some music in there from that game, and you get the cursed key that summons Phanto when you pick it up. But so it's a little disappointing that that's all you get for Mario Brothers 2. But again, it feels like maybe they had planned to do that, where they were gonna It seems like they were planning maybe to do Mario Brothers 2. I mean, this is just speculation on my part, but maybe something happened. It seems like there was definitely going to be more game styles, at least one more, because that game styles thing down there is plural. Like I don't see why they would like go to the trouble of making a whole separate section just for one other game style. So I don't know what happened with this game's development. I mean, not to underestimate or not to undersell the significance of this final update because it's a big one. It's a really good one, but it seems like they just maybe plans changed. Maybe the game didn't sell that well. Maybe just reception was not as good, or at least as good as the first one. Who knows? But but moving along, the update for Mario World was the power balloon, which inflates you similarly to how you did in the original Mario World game, except you actually have full control of Mario now in the sky. He doesn't just float up, and apparently this power up is permanent, at least until you get hit. So it's not a temporary power up that fades after about 10 seconds or however long the original was. And from what I understand, everybody seems to think this is a better version of that power balloon power as opposed to the original. So I would agree with that too. New Super Mario Brothers Wii U version got the Flying Squirrel Mario, which is probably one of my least favorite Mario power ups. It just, I don't know why. I just it doesn't excite me. And that's not to say that there's not things like some of these other additions to the game, like the uh, off and on trampolines that were added as well, can't be implemented and used creatively. But just personally doesn't interest me. And then there were a whole bunch of additional like disguises or whatever you want to call them added to the Mario 3D World options, and those don't really, once again, same thing with those. Those don't personally interest me that much as like the frog suit or the Mario 2 mushroom, because I'm more, I'm a bigger fan of Mario Brothers 3. Mario Brothers 3, everybody who's heard me talk about this game knows it's one of my favorite games ever. And I like those games better. I like that old game better. But I'm still excited to see what people can create with these pieces that even if I'm not personally interested in those power-ups, somebody's going to put them to good use. So good on the power-ups deal. And there's one more big thing that was added in my opinion. The World Maker was the best thing they added in this game for this update. The Koopalings is the second best. Now, in the original Mario Maker, you had two bosses. You had at least two standard bosses. You had Bowser and Bowser Jr. And that's just it gets so repetitive because now you got to figure out creative ways to differentiate between, okay, here's your standard Bowser Jr. Okay, now here he is in the clown car. Okay, now here he is with wings where he can throw hammers. Okay, here he is where he's a giant and he's got wings, and you feel like you just find the same boss over and over again. And I guess that's kind of what the original Mario Brothers was like in a way. But I was hoping that they would add the Koopalings, and they've added all 7 of them, thankfully. In addition to now you can pick Boom Boom, so you now have, so if you count Boom Boom, you got those characters there, Boom Boom, Bowser Jr., and added for this game. Now you have the 7 Koopalings, and they all play differently. They all have, they're similar, but not enough that, it would be a repetitive fight. But, I'm glad that they're in there now, especially with World Maker being a thing, because I'm definitely using the Koopalings up to the Bowser battle. But, it's a great idea to bring them in, and they all play the same. They all have the same battle style, I think, across all 4 of the standard side scroller modes. The Mario, now they were all bosses in the original Super Mario World, but they've all been given new sprites, just like Bowser was, so that they function as you would see them in like the other games. Like those battles were a lot more interesting. There were 2 of them specifically where you would have to try to bounce them off of a rocking platform into lava. Well, that's gone. This has been reformatted closer to something like the Super Mario Bros. 3 boss fights between the Koopalings, where they have their wands, they're casting spells at you, you have to jump on them, and then they try to hit you from within their shells. Now they do drop their wands. At least I haven't really played around with them too much outside of the Super Mario Bros. 3 setting, because that's my favorite one. But I think they probably all do the same thing anyway. But they drop their wands, you can't pick them up. It's just an extra little thing, a nod to the fact that when you beat them in Super Mario Bros. 3, they lose their wand, they fly up in the sky, and they drop back down, and then you're supposed to pick it up, and it undoes all the magic and stuff. But that doesn't happen in this game. But, it's sad that this is the end of Mario Maker 2, and it just seems like it's going out on a whimper, even though this is a really good update. It's a really good update. I wonder what happened. Did fans just not gravitate to this? I know that the creation the whole tools deal with the way that the tool maker, or the way they separated all the parts to use, was not as good as the first one, in my opinion. and it does make creating things a little harder. I think that making levels was a lot more easier on the Wii U than it is on the Switch. But you know, what can you do? I just think that this is a good. This is a if this is truly the very last update for Mario Maker, then it's gonna go out on as high a note as it possibly can. I hope World Maker gets enough people back into the game that they'll make levels again and people will start playing it again. But at least as a Mario fan, I'm glad to see it, and I'll be trying to make some levels and get some worlds uploaded for people to play. But anyway, I'm glad to see World Maker. I'm glad to see the Koopalings. You know, I think this game could have been more, but nothing we can really do about that. So now I want to move on to discussing something that came up during the Nintendo Direct that came out a few weeks back, and that is the speculation on who the next Super Smash Bros. DLC character will be. Now we know that it's going to be a character from ARMS, but we don't know which one yet, and apparently we won't know until that character is ready to go. I think that they said it was in June. So we've still got a few more weeks before we find out who this character is. It was either June or July. But anyway, I want to talk about who I would like to see in Smash. And to start off, I'm going to give you my top 10 picks for characters I would like to see in Smash. Now, some of these are probably very, very unlikely, but I'll tell you why I want them. But first off, since we know the first character in this DLC pack is going to be an ARMS character, I think it should be Twintail. I think this is the most, Spring Man is already in Smash as an assist trophy. Ribbon Girl is a Mii Fighter costume. Now, I would like to think that because they've already added those characters in the game in that fashion, then it won't be them. Now, it could also be possible that they take Spring Man's, model from the assist trophy and repurpose it and put him in the game as a playable character. I'm fine with that if they do that, and then if they do that, they can add Ribbon Girl in with the same way, because I think those characters are basically meant to be sort of counterparts to each other, like one's male, one's female, that kind of deal. Because we see that kind of thing, like with the Koopalings, and we saw it with the Dragon Quest Hero. So, where multiple characters can basically just stand in each other's place. But personally, I would like it to be the character that actually did stand out and got a lot of attention. We know why. Everybody knows why. Everybody loves Twintail. So let's not pretend that that's not why she's popular. But really, I just think that she would stand out visually from the rest of the roster. Her costume has a lot of colors that you don't see used on the other characters. And she's got the whole thing where she's got a darker complexion, which none of the other characters have. So that would be fun to have in Smash, just from a visual standpoint, of there being more characters that just look completely different. Which is another thing you'll see from a lot of the characters that I picked from my top 10. But anyway, I think that Twintail should be the ARMS rep. I would say she's probably the most likely one because she is so popular. I hope it's not the other rumor. There was a rumor going around the back that there was going to be a female character added that had a mecha. Now, there is a mecha character, there is a female character who has a mecha in ARMS. I just hope it's not her. I'd rather it be Twintail. Now, the next character that I want in Smash is probably very unlikely, but I think it would just be fun to have this character because of how different he'd be. And that is Fulgore from Killer Instinct. Why Fulgore? Because he's a death machine. He looks like a death machine. This looks like a character that's not there to play games. Smash is always about fun, and silliness in a lot of ways. You've got Mario and the Pokemon in there, and Yoshi and Wario. There's a lot of fun, lovable characters in that game. But Fulgore is not that. At all. He's just a killing machine. A ruthless, savage, killing machine. And I think that would be a great contrast to have for the rest of the game. Snake's in there, yes, and he's from a game about war and killing and all that stuff. I understand that, but it's still not a giant, this big robotic force of death. He's fantasy enough to work, I think, you know, and I think it just would be a great addition to the game. Plus, you'd get some of that Killer Instinct music in there. Oh, that'd be great. But that's really, other than just thinking that Fulgore would be a cool addition to the game. I do think that Smash needs more traditional fighting game reps. So having another long time series going on, uh, like we've got Ryu, Ken, and Terry Bogard, but let's show some more love for traditional fighting games. So throw in a Killer Instinct character. If Jago was to show up, that would be fine too. But I would prefer it to be somebody a little bit different, because I kind of consider Jago to be the Ryu of that game, just because he's the main hero. That just seems to me that way. But um, moving along. This character is gonna be a good bit different from Fulgore, and I kind of think he actually does have a small chance of being in the game. That's Spyro the Dragon. Because Spyro is one of those. I don't know if saying he's a gaming icon is appropriate, because I don't think he's quite that popular. He's not on the level of Mario or Link, or Pikachu or anything like that. But he should be, in a way. He's maybe not quite at that icon status. But people fell in love with the remakes. I've beaten the first one. I plan to play through this again for the YouTube channel at some point. I haven't started it yet, but think about this. We don't have a lot of four-legged characters in Smash either. We got Ivysaur, the Duck Hunt dog. Sometimes Pikachu and Pichu, I think, run on all fours. King K. Rool does when he runs. But Spyro also has a personality to him. He likes to talk trash. This punk little, yeah, bring it on. This kind of deal. He would be a lot of fun to play. And I like the idea of having him have Sparks, his little dragonfly buddy, be an indicator of how much damage he's taken. So if he's perfect health, he's golden, no damage. Sparks is golden. You get say down to 50%. Between 0 and 50%, he's blue. I think that's the next phase. Then 50 to 100, he's green, and then anything over 100, Sparks is gone, because that's how it worked in the original game. So I think that would be a cool sort of way to do Spyro. His flame breath and head charge. I think it would be very easy to incorporate him into Smash. Hopefully he gets in. The other character people want that I think probably has a better chance, honestly. I personally would prefer Spyro over him, but I know people want Crash Bandicoot. There's just something about me I don't want Crash Bandicoot and Banjo-Kazooie in the same, for this whole thing. I know that sounds weird, but they seem too visibly similar to me. Banjo and Crash are both little furry critters that wear shorts, and I just think, and that's not to say that Crash and Banjo were anywhere near the same kind of character, but just as far as just on a visual standpoint, I would rather have the purple dragon than Crash Bandicoot, at least for now. I wouldn't hate Crash if he got in, because then you could do the whole play on the old commercial where Crash pulls up outside of Nintendo's headquarters with he's got the megaphone, the guy in the Crash suit, and he's talking smack. I mean, that would be really funny. They've got to do that if they put Crash in, otherwise they didn't do it right. But here's another character I don't think has a very good chance of getting in, but I think it would be really awesome to see. Sort of to piggyback off of referencing Banjo and Kazooie, Jak and Daxter. Jak was in that PlayStation Battle Royale game, which was just a Smash knockoff anyway. But we haven't really seen Jak and Daxter do anything recently. That's another sort of Spyro kind of came back to life. bring back Jak and Daxter. Let's get a new Jak and Daxter game going. And Jak would have guns. It'd have to be at least a Jak 2 version where he's got guns, because I just don't think that the classic Jak. I don't think that people would want that. Maybe as an alternate costume for him, but I would prefer it be the Jak 2 or Jak 3 version of Jak with the guns, where he can actually talk. Because he's a very bitter guy, from what I remember, a very angry guy. And Daxter, of course, kind of like Spyro. Daxter's a trash talker. He doesn't do anything really. You know, oh, what's the character's name? What's the little cat guy that shows up in Joker's taunts? Monica? No, it's not that. Oh, it's right there. Anyway, that little character that shows up when Joker taunts, and he's like, "Look, doing good, Joker," or whatever he says. You could do something like that with Daxter, where he shows up, says something sarcastic and, completely, makes fun of somebody, and then he goes, it jumps right back up on Jak's shoulder. I actually would prefer that, like where he's hanging off of Jak's shoulder here, sort of like Kazooie hangs out in Banjo's backpack. That would actually be pretty cool. But I don't think Jak. I think this one's not very likely. Wishful thinking. But hopefully something happens with Jak and Daxter regardless, because I'd like to see that series come back. But this next character actually could maybe make an appearance. I don't think it will, but this is a Nintendo character. Impa. And not just any Impa. The Impa from Hyrule Warriors. And when you think about Zelda's representation in Smash, it's weird, because I would have preferred to have more variations of Link and Zelda in this game. But the way they did it, you have 6 different Zelda games are represented in Smash Bros. Right now with the way they did all the Zelda characters. Standard Link represents Breath of the Wild. Standard Zelda, Zelda represents A Link to the Past. Ganondorf represents Ocarina of Time. Young Link represents Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Toon Link represents Wind Waker. And Sheik, Sheik is based off of concept art from Twilight Princess. So, at least there's some love for Twilight Princess there. So, you've got 6 different Zelda games represented between the 6 characters. Hyrule Warriors hasn't been represented at all. So I would say put in this version of Impa, who is the most warrior-like. And she's got a unique look to her, and you could have her with that Naginata, or that giant sword that she carries, where she fights more like a ninja, so she would be a little bit more, she'd be like Sheik with a sword. And I think that's kind of cool. But I love the way she looks in Hyrule Warriors. It looks a lot like, not a lot like, but pretty similar to, there's some similarities between the way she looks in this game and from Skyward Sword. But she didn't really fight in Skyward Sword either. But there were 2 versions of Impa in that game too. But anyway, it's a Nintendo character. I think Zelda needs more reps in Smash anyway, because when you cut out the Link variants, and yes, I get that they're supposed to be, they're technically all 3 different characters. It's still Link. It's three different versions of Link. And Sheik is just a Zelda alter ego. They're the same character, so there you go. Zelda and Sheik is one character. So really, there's only 3 true reps in Smash for Zelda. We've got tons of Fire Emblem characters, most of which people seem to be tired of. Give us Impa. Or if you want to do something else, let's go, if you want to dive in completely on the multiple versions of Link, do something with Linkle. Linkle was pretty popular. I know that would be another version of Link, but her main weapon was like a bow of some sort. Like a bow gauntlet thing. I didn't get to play her when I was playing Hyrule Warriors. I don't remember if she was added to the Wii U version of Hyrule Warriors or not. maybe as DLC. Maybe she was added to the DS version, the 3DS version that was the bigger version. Um, I hope at some point I can get the deluxe version for the Switch and play that. So maybe that'll happen. Another character, I think this one actually might have a decent chance of getting in. Is like I said, I keep saying we need more female characters in Smash. And I've already covered Twintel and now Impa. I want Chun-Li in Smash. We got Ken and Ryu, but why not Chun-Li? Byleth kind of confirms that just because his franchise is already represented in Smash doesn't mean they can't get a DLC character. So, put in Chun-Li. She's usually there for the crossover games. She's in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I just like and I like the idea that she would be a character who fights like hand-to-hand combat. You know, like Palutena has magic, Samus has her, tech. She's got like the fancy boots and the whip and the gun. Peach and Daisy fight barehanded, but theirs are more like the cartoony style. Like at least Chun-Li is actually like a true like fighter. I would like to see that for Chun-Li. Like I said, we could all it goes back to what I said about Fulgore. We need more fighting game representatives in Smash in general. And even though Street Fighter's already represented, I think we could do more of those characters. Now next is a character I think might have a chance too. I don't know how big that chance is, but I think I still want to see Paper Mario. Like, we're going back to the multiple versions of Link. There's only 2 versions of Mario in Smash. It's the standard Mario, who's been updated to be more like his Mario Odyssey counterpart, to a point, and Dr. Mario, who hasn't really changed at all. I don't really care that much for Dr. Mario, but Paper Mario would have to play differently. You couldn't just copy the moveset, and that's why I want him in the game. It's just Paper Mario's so different. And you could give him his mallet as like a smash attack. You could reference the first games. You could reference all the games, even the bad ones if you wanted to, with his smashes or specials or whatever. Maybe he could call on like some of the characters in this game. This was from Thousand Year Door, which is considered by many people to be like a top game of all time. I wouldn't necessarily, thumb my note, give the thumbs down to somebody who says that Thousand Year Door is the best game ever, but I still want Paper Mario in. I think there's a lot of fun things you could do with him, especially like imagine if we got the DLC pack for this game and you somehow ended up with Paper Mario and then a character like Fulgore in it as well, like the Death Robot, and then this cutesy cartoony version of Mario. Like that's what makes Smash fun. That's what I want. So, Paper Mario has been on my wish list for Smash for a while. I think even back in the Wii U version, that's what I was hoping somebody would add him into the game. Maybe we'll get him. It would be a really cool way to promote the upcoming. So there's a rumor going around that there's going to be a brand new Paper Mario game that harkens back to the original games, which I would think specifically references the first Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door. That could sell big for Nintendo. So if there's going to be a new Paper Mario game this year, or maybe early next year, whenever the case may be, put in Paper Mario in Smash. Get that promotion going ahead of time. Now this next character I still think has a decent shot. Maybe not as much as I thought it before, but put Sora in Smash. Just do it. It was trending on Twitter. That they want they like, and the reason I think people want Sora in Smash is like, at least my reason is because Kingdom Hearts sort of fits the same sort of idea that Smash does. The idea of worlds coming together. And that's sort of the theme of Kingdom Hearts, and it's the theme of Smash. Sora goes to all these different worlds where they're all separate, they're not supposed to interact, but he's able to interact with them. That's sort of Smash's deal too. So I think it would make a lot of sense to have Sora in the game. Just from that. And Cloud's already in there. You could already do something with that. Cloud's in the game. So that would be cool to see Cloud and Sora interact in a reveal trailer. I know they're not really doing much with Cloud beyond him just being, carried over from the last game. But anyway, I do want Sora in the game. I think he's got a small chance, maybe not a big chance, but I hope he'd get making it in the game. Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes. Sort of like the Paper Mario deal. There's a new No More Heroes coming out this year, if I'm not mistaken. That date's supposed to be this year. Put him in. It's No More Heroes is exclusive to Nintendo anyway. I don't know if they own it or not. I don't know if they own Travis Touchdown, but I don't think they do. But they could do that. Put him in. I think we need more. Like I said, we need more variety in Smash. Travis Touchdown definitely more adult-oriented characters like Solid Snake and Bayonetta. But if those two characters can be in, so can and Joker to a lesser extent because those games are rated M too. But put in Travis. As long as he doesn't swear, there shouldn't be a problem with it. I mean, Bayonetta gets naked in her games and swears up a storm. So does Snake, I think. And I haven't played any of the Metal Gear Solid games, but I've seen clips from the Bayo games. I would like to try the Bayo games. I've heard they're fun. But put Travis in. He's just cool. He's sort of like I talked about Spyro and Daxter. He talks trash. And having those big personalities in Smash helps them. But I want to get to my final pick for Smash because I'm starting to run out of time. Because I got one more topic I want to get to. But the last character I think should be in Smash, and I actually think that this is going to happen. This is sort of my prediction now, a true prediction. You're going to see both versions of Akira Howard from Astral Chain in Smash. I think that's got to happen. It's too easy to do it because, one, and it makes too much sense. One, Astral Chain was a big success for the Switch. Apparently everybody's agreed with it. It got great ratings and people loved it. I'm currently playing through it for YouTube right now. I've got the first little chunk of it is online on my YouTube channel. So if you want to go watch that, go check it out. But it would be easy to record for because I think, unless I'm mistaken, they play the same way in game. So they would play. So it makes sense that they would just play the same way in Smash. So you just do like a Fire Emblem, like for Robin, like for Corrin. Who are some of the other characters you flip? Like the Koopalings, the Dragon Quest heroes. Any of the characters that have like that male and female alternate form or whatever you want to refer to it as. This is a perfect example of that working. Like Wii Fit Trainer. And Byleth. Yeah, of course, Byleth was the most recent one. But I didn't know this, but both versions of both of these characters, like the way the game works, is I thought like the male was Akira, and then the girl was Asuka or something like that. I thought that they were, for some reason, I don't know if that's just the name that the game gave me or whatever, but lost my view tracker. What happened? Oh well. Anyway, the deal is they're both of the characters are named Akira Howard. So you wouldn't even have to re-record like the announcer but one voice. No, this game's winner is Akira, or I wouldn't imagine they call him Akira Howard because they don't refer to Terry Bogard as Terry Bogard. But anyway, that would be a really easy thing to do. Implementing the legions would be fun. It would be a little complicated as far as with like how do you make the legions work. I'd say you just do the same way you do Bayonetta with their smashes and when the big, whatever it is, big demon form, Madame Butterfly comes out. But that's what I would do. But I feel like this is a safe prediction for who's going to get in Smash. It just makes too much sense. But those are my 10 predictions, or those are my 10 wants for Smash DLC. This is the only one I think actually, besides Twintel, I think this one is definitely happening. I'm not super sold on Twintel just yet. I think she's the most likely and probably the safest bet, but Akira is making it in. Both of them are making it in. I'm saying it right now. All right, so there's one more topic I want to talk about. There's not really a lot to talk about it right now, but from another reveal from the recent Nintendo Direct was the announcement of Ninjala, a free-to-play game that's coming. I think what is the date? I've got it wrote down here. I've got it here. Comes out May 27th, 2020. So a month from, a little over a month from today. It's free to play. I think it's 4-on-4 online. So, if I read right, I may be wrong. You can fully customize your character. That will be cool if it's true. But anyway, they announced yesterday an open beta for anybody who downloads this particular version of the game. They're calling it the exclusive Ninja Club version. It's on the Nintendo eShop right now. That game, you go download that beta for free. And visually, this game, it reminds me of Splatoon, but I haven't played a lot of Splatoon. But this looks like it could be fun. It's free to play, sort of similar to Fortnite. Free to play game, you can go online and play with people. I'm down. But it looks like it could be a fun game. And so it stuck out to me from that direct that we had. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep my eye on this. It could be fun. But now they've got the test dates for the beta. For anybody who downloads this version, will be live. The event schedule will run on April 28th, Pacific Daylight Time, from 12 to 1, and from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. 2020, that's 8 o'clock, that's military time. From 8 o'clock on the 28th to 9 o'clock on the 28th. And then one more day, the 29th, from 4 to 5 in the morning. So that's a pretty early run. So I'm probably going to do it on that Tuesday. I don't know whether I'm going to try to shoot for the what time is that for me? I think it's 2 o'clock for me and 10 o'clock. I think it's 2 and 10 o'clock for me Central Time for that event. Probably would be better for me to shoot for 2 o'clock. So I might try to get in on the first one. Get that, so that's next week, and then get that footage uploaded, to YouTube the next week. And then maybe give sort of a small review of it. So I could do like gameplay, do that. Because I also, something I've been wanting to do too, and I'll probably use this as a little bit of an inspiration, to probably do reviews of games as I finish them. Like, I'm basically finished with Pokemon Sword. I want to review that. All I got to do is finish the post game. I don't think it's very long. But I look forward to the Ninjala test. I've never done like a beta test thing before. It just never interested me. But this could be really fun. It looks like a fun game, and I'm willing to test this out. It's an hour of my time to test this little game, see what it's like, and to give my feedback on it. Not that like my feedback's going to change something big in the game, but it could be. I want to try to bring people more content, and games like this should do it, and maybe it will help my channel, maybe it'll help my Twitch and Mixer and YouTube, but I'm looking forward to that. That happens next week. The 28th is on Tuesday. 29th is on Wednesday. I'm shooting for Tuesday. But that's gonna do it for the show. I'm out of topics. So it was a pretty eventful week when you think about it. The Travis Scott thing happened this week. Deadpool technically ended last week, so that's not this week really. The Mario Maker thing dropped out of nowhere, and now we've got this for Ninjala. But I look forward to doing these games. Hopefully I can keep doing the show. The goal is going to be to do this every Saturday, and if not on Saturday, then Sunday. you know. These will get logged away on YouTube, so I don't have to, so it's being uploaded as we speak. I don't have to, process this video. But, if the show goes, if people like this show, if people say, we want to hear more from you, I'll try to make things more interesting, talk about more stuff, and still bringing you stuff to YouTube. I'm still planning on doing stuff. The foreseeable future is there will be at least 3 videos uploaded to YouTube every week from Monday through Friday. Mostly on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. When I can, if I've got a week thing planned, I'll do one every day. Trying to come up with more variety of games to bring you, some indie games, some lesser known games, some free to play games, as well as the bigger titles, when I can. But, I hope you'll come back. I hope you want to hear more from me. This wasn't, talking for an hour wasn't as bad as I thought. I guess maybe because I already had my list of stuff I wanted to go through. I should have shaved the Ninjala thing off because I kind of went over time on the Smash thing, but it was 10 characters, so it took up a lot of time. But anyway, I hope you'll subscribe to my channels and follow me on Twitch and YouTube and Mixer and Twitter and anywhere that I'm at usually. Twitter is where I'm a little bit more open about stuff that I'm talking about. On my game stuff, it's pretty much going to be strictly about games. Twitter is a little bit more of my open journal, and anything that I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about. There's a lot of memes, a lot of cartoon talk, a lot of wrestling talk, a lot of anime talk, a lot of gaming talk. But Twitter is fair game, so just anything is, there are no limits on Twitter. So keep that in mind. But I do hope you'll subscribe to YouTube and Twitch and Mixer if you like game stuff. And I'm going to try to keep doing this show once a week and keep trying to bring you guys good gaming content. But that is going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. For those, I saw a few people ducking in and out. Then I lost my counter and then they went to 0. I don't know if that was anything. But I'm going to keep trying to do this. Hope you liked it. And I got some games to go play. I got to go get ready for the Fortnite thing. So, thanks for tuning in. Hope you like it. Hope you'll watch the rest of my stuff on YouTube. And we'll see you next time.
Do the Mario! Swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario. Take one step. And then again, let's do the Mario all together now. You got it. It's the Mario. Do the Mario. Swing your arms from side to side. Come on.